What is happening? Welcome to the Plus Pitch Podcast, your morning pitching podcast from PitcherList.com. My name is Nick Pollock. Today is May 21st. Yes, I do need to get a haircut because you're watching on YouTube. Thanks so much for liking and subscribing. And we are going to talk about baseball. Yesavage had a fantastic game against the Yankees. 6 innings, 0 runs, 2 hits, 0 walks, and 8 strikeouts. This looked a lot like the Yesavage from last year, save for the splitter not quite being there yet. It's a sub 50% strike rate, few whiffs on it. That should be something that gets better in the future. However, the slider is really stepping up in a big way. We also do have the fastball that is getting 20 inches of vert, sometimes as high as like 23 to 24 inches. We saw that on a really nice strikeout to Judge where he thought it'd be the splitter or the slider, and it just stuck on the outside edge. It's really nice. And honestly, I'm at the point that my concerns of Yesavage and his command are behind me. He's also at 95 plus, which is an increased velocity from the 94 we saw last year in the regular season. So I'm a fan of Yesavage now. He's going to be moving up the list significantly. And so you could say about Kyle Harrison. He got a golden goal, 19 whiffs, 40% CSW with 7 innings of shutout ball against the Cubs in Wrigley. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. It was beautiful. I mean, the four-seamer is still elite, and it's going harder now at 95, 96. He's at 1.8 height adjusted VAA, great vert on it, nailing the top of the zone. Had the curveball underneath and nearly 80% strikes for a Blake Snell blueprint. He didn't even get the changeup where he wanted it to be, and it still was a fantastic outing. So Kyle Harrison is honestly looking like an ace. I mean, it's a 32% strikeout rate, 8% walk rate, underneath that 7.7, I believe, 16% overall swinging strike rate. It's an amazing season thus far, and I feel like he's only a start or two away from an ace is going to ace label. If he dominates again like this, then how am I going to say no? Carmen Moljinski had a good start against the Cardinals, got ourselves a cheap win. 5 innings, 0 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and just 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? He gets the Cubs, Twins, and Atlanta, so we don't do it. But thank you so much for that, Moljinski. We do not want to roast you anymore. Shohei Ohtani saved his start with a bases-loaded jam that turned into a double play to end the inning in the 5th. 0 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Not really the best Ohtani start, but props to him for getting through this one and giving you a win. Drew Anderson is someone to keep an eye on because he went 63 pitches in this one, 4.2 innings of 0 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He has a flat four-seamer at 95, and it can work at the top of the zone. He got 5 of those 7 strikeouts on those high heaters. He did keep his slider, changeup, and curveball down. It's really a split changeup that has been the pitch for him overseas. I don't really know if that's really going to be a reliable split change for him here. However, Drew Anderson might get some time. He might piggyback when, say, Troy Melton returns, and that might be a cheap win there. It's just someone to be aware of, especially if the Tigers continue to have injuries. He might get forced into rotation, and he's not the worst thing out there. You have Tanner Bybee going 8 innings of 1 earned run, 5 base runners, and 5 strikeouts. It's a gold star because I did not expect him to do so well against the Tigers. And there's one thing that's really great, which is the four-seamer vert. Remember at the beginning of the year where it was 18 vert and sometimes 16 as opposed to the 14.5 or so it was last year? This was 19. Okay, that's over 3 inches on the season average of 16, which included the 18s from before, right? It's fallen since, and that's cool. What it did is it turned a lot of these balls that normally would be barreled into can of corn outs in off the fastball. So these are flyouts, 7 for 7 balls in play, turned into outs for Tanner Bybee off the four-seamer. That's the big difference. The changeup and curveball each returned 0 whiffs. That's a little bit, I don't know, 2 over 19 on the cutter, 58% strike rate there. It's a little concerning to me, considering we've seen the four-seamer vert not be there every single time. And now he's going to get a lot of lefties against the Nationals, which means the cutter, which was better than the changeup and the curve, is not going to be in play as much. Same with the sinker. And it's going to be more of those changeups and curves that he's not really grooving with. I don't think this is the turning point for Tanner Bybee. I don't think that vert is going to stick. I hope it does, though. Chris Sales is going to ace. You don't need me here. I mean, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 base runners, 8 strikeouts. It's so dope. And he makes us feel dope. And it's a good argument for him being number 2 instead of Cam Schiller. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it. Joe Ryan against the Astros. He gets his aces, going to ace label back with 19 whiffs, a co-share of the Gallows poll once again. 9 strikeouts, 0 walks, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 innings. He's gone 3 straight since the injury scare of 93 miles per hour, exactly 6 innings, and exactly 1 earned run. He has a 3.02 ERA, 0.97 whip, and a 27% K rate this year. That's Joe Ryan. Yeah, he's an ace. Shane Baz against the Rays in Tropicana. He went home for a moment. And guess what? It's his best start of the year. The first time all year that Shane Baz has gone at least 6 innings and under 3 earned runs. First time. No coincidence that it was inside of Trop, right? Here's the thing. His four-seamer, 45% strike rate. His curveball barely eclipsed that with a 50% strike rate. This was the cutter getting like 80% strikes while the Orioles hit themselves into outs with Koufax giving a little salute on the way. This is not the turning point for Shane Baz. This is a werewolf outing. He has one good start a month. It's not really the thing that you should be excited about. And honestly, I think it kind of proves in a way that we're upset that Shane Baz got traded because he was going to go back to the Trop. All right, Michael Wacha against the Red Sox, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. The dude is just killing this. And now he has a real test against the Yankees. He's going to have that 19 to 20 inch vert on his four-seamer that he's had a bit with good command upstairs, especially the lefties. But it is a test against the Yankees and really testing your fortitude, your faith in Michael Wacha's Vargas rule right now. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. He already took him down once, right? A month ago. You have Andrew Abbott against the Phillies. This is the 5th straight start that was productive for Andrew Abbott. And the thing is, after the first 4 of them, I wasn't really encouraged. I am a little bit more now. 5.1 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 Ks with a win against the Phillies. Now, 4 total earned runs in the 5 straight outings and only 3 Ks here. He's not really doing much in the strikeout department, but there are 2 factors of this that I really liked. One, the sweeper got 32% swing strikes in this. That's a huge, huge, huge deal across 22 sweepers. It means against lefties, he had that really good pitch separation. So sliders, sweepers, even though they weren't really outside the zone as much as I want, they were down and away. And then you also have the four-seamers going up and into lefties, which is great. The second part of it is the changeup in the four-seamer to right-handers. And what I've been seeing is the changeup not being a high strike pitch, being unreliable, and also the four-seamer leaking into the middle of the plate and being far too hittable. That was not the case here. This was the changeup going in the outside edge, while the four-seamer spotted the same place and also went elevated. That's exactly what we want. We did not see those mistake pitches from Andrew Abbott against right-handers, and this is why we had a good outing. It was only 1 for 15 changeup whiffs, though, which is a little frustrating, but it is at the Mets and then the Royals in Cincy and then at St. Louis. That's a really good schedule ahead after 5 straight productive starts. I think you got to roll with it now. For Andrew Abbott, you have Steven Matz returning from the IL. It was a clear still ill against the Orioles in the Trop, and 4 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. And following him was Jesse Schultens, who got the win, 4 innings of 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. Both of them, I'm not really that interested. Matz gets a repeat matchup against the Orioles in Camden on Monday. And it wasn't the best command. It wasn't the really good sinker along the edges with changeup underneath. It's what he tried to do, and it was fine, but it wasn't anything exciting in my view. You could go for it. It's okay. He's going to be a questionable start in that because he'll be around 75 pitches or so. But you could see Schultens again piggyback that one. So if you're chasing a win of some kind desperately, like Schultens could theoretically do it again, I don't want to go for either, really. Edward Cabrera in his start went 3 innings only because it was a blister. Super unfortunate. He was a hipster anyway going into this. And let's say he goes against the Pirates next. I feel like this is the perfect excuse to get off the train because we don't even know if he's going to be there against the Pirates. Is the blister going to affect him even more? He already was a hipster in my view. You have Cam Schlittler. Oh my gosh. 6 innings of just dominance. I'm serious. It was 6 innings, 0 runs, 6 hits, 0 walks, and 7 strikeouts. It was great. And then he enters the 7th. This was a dribbler to third for a single, a walk on 3-1, a bunt single, perfect bunt down the third baseline. Bases loaded now, nobody out, still in there. And then a 3-2 walk to score a run. It was an 11 pitch at bat. And he walked that guy on a very, very close 3-2 pitch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then the 2 more came, or actually 1 more came in after the hook. So those are his 2 earned runs for the night. Oh gosh, it is so frustrating. It happens when you're a good pitcher. Sometimes that's the only way you get beat, right? Nothing to worry about, of course, with Cam Schlittler. You have Emerson Hancock against the White Sox, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. We're really happy about that, but 8 base runners, including 3 walks and 4 Ks. 86 pitches against the White Sox. Look. Emerson Hancock has been terrifying me because he was at this 14 to 15 inches of vert on the four-seamer, then like 12 and change, then 10 change, and then 9. And now we're at 8.8. He just goes lower each start, and he can't he can't keep getting away with this one. What happened here was that a lot of these were not whiffs all of a sudden with a four seamer upstairs, right? He's locating it, and that was really the only pitch that was effective in this. He went with cutters against the White Sox lefties, and that was actually a sub 50% strike rate. I'm happy it's not the sweeper and it's the cutter, but Hancock is looking bad. And now he gets Sacraverde. It goes into Sacramento. I don't want to do that. I'm going to have him as a questionable start next time. I know it's unbelievable, but that's the case in my view. Zach Littell against the Mets got to win. 5 innings, 200 runs, 5 hits, 0 walks, and 3 Ks. Slider, splitter, and four-seamer. The four-seamer overperformed. It's a 6% swing strike rate on the year. You should not be going after this. It's at Cleveland where he's going to have to really get that splitter working. I don't believe it. And then the Padres, who are much better against right-handers and left-handers, I would not do that two-step. Now, Andrew Alvarez was the follower of this. I want to say that because he went 4 innings and got a save. 4 innings, 200 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 8 whiffs, 38% CSW on 56 pitches for Andrew Alvarez. Really good curveball, 83, 84 miles per hour at 13-11. That means 13 inches of drop and 11 of sweep. That's great. It's kind of weird because he has a gyro slider at 84, 85. It's not worth it. Why would you throw that? Sacrificing all of this movement for just one more tick of velocity doesn't make sense to me. But obviously, maybe it looks a little bit different. I don't know. But Andrew Alvarez, I'm not really thinking is a major thing. It's just a high release 93 mile per hour four seamer. It's not really much. But it's something at least to note here. Sean Burke against the Mariners in Seattle. 4.2 innings, 200 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. He got so fortunate to get out of it in the 5th, where it was a noble tiger for the Mariners to not score as the bullpen got the final out for him as well. Yeah, you don't want to go after Sean Burke. Connolly early, 6.1 innings, a 300 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. He's going to get Atlanta next. That's going to be a tough one for him. And I think I want to do it, but it's not quite perfect early yet. His changeup went just 1 for 21 whiffs with a poor 52% strike rate. He did do really well with the four-seamer upstairs at a 28% swing strike rate to right-handers. That's cool. There is a decent curveball, but we're not really seeing the slider and curve do enough for me to be convinced against right-handers, especially without the changeup. He did get really good sinkers upstairs and in to lefties, even though Jacques got 2 singles off of it, despite sub 70 mile per hour exit velocities on both. Very, very frustrating. I want to see a little bit more from those secondaries for Connolly early for me to really buy into it. It's going to be a tough one against Atlanta. Merrill Kelly against the Giants gave us a poor quality start. Fine, whatever. We keep rolling. Jack Kohanowitz not looking good, even though it was a poor quality start. Really a Bailey special, 7 base runners and 7 strikeouts as well. I'm not seeing enough here for this to work out. The slider was terrible. Michael McGreevy had a lot of baseball regression here. 5 innings of 300 runs, 10 hits, 1 walk, and just 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? He gave us a walkout. That's what I call you get nothing. You got a loss. Just 1 strikeout is not enough here. 11 base runners, bad whip, and a bad ERA. That's a walkout. So I don't really want to go for this against the Brewers, but look, it could go the other way, right? That's what a guy like McGreevy does. He's not going to be a strikeout guy, though. Kyle Freeland didn't do well in Texas. Sorry, against Texas in Coors, of course not. Randy Vasquez did his best to survive against the Dodgers, but 3 walks and 0 strikeouts. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? It's not the situation you want to do. Vasquez, he's just a Toby, gets the Phillies. It's fine. You have Mike Burrows, who's not looking great. The command is just not really there. The changeup was nice. Nothing else was. So it was 4 runs and 6. Aaron Nola is not a guy that you want to roster. 4 runs in 5 runs. So 5 innings in with 8 hits, 0 walks, and 5 Ks. This was Reds carpet too. I talked about it in the Kraft episode with Eno Saris, and you should watch that one. It's like the funniest one we've ever done. Aaron Nola just is not the guy he used to be, and it's not good. I really don't think you should be holding on to Aaron Nola. Jack Leiter didn't do well in Coors because he's a hipster. And he also was throwing softer. It was 55 degrees out. I don't know. He gets Houston and Kansas City and Cleveland all in Arlington, which is nice. So I imagine at least one of those will be good. Which one? I don't know. Zach Thorne made his MLB debut. You don't really need to do it. It was a pilot rule, 4.1 innings, 400 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He's not one of these high upside guys. It's a 91, 92 mile per hour fastball with a high release point, 17 inches of vert, but it's not as impressive with that high release point. A bad sinker, at least one that you didn't spot here, an 80 mile per hour sweeper that had some whiffs, but it was okay. Then he has this cutter that is really like a cutter in a slider Like, it's kind of weird because the velocities are going between the two, but there's one that's clearly like 6, 7 inches of vert and one that is -1 or 0, right? You can see the whole gap of it. And I can see promise in it. He threw them a ton. He threw over 40. I think actually maybe even 40 of these exactly. It's still not enough. We don't see a changeup in here that's really good. He threw one of them. And when he has a 91 mile per hour fastball, he needs something better to complement that cutter and slider, I guess. You have Aaron Savali at the Angels. No, 5 runs, 5 innings, 3 home runs in the first two, as his regressions here. And it's a 3.31 ERA so far with a terrible whip. That's just going to get worse as we go. Do not go after Savali. Tyler Malley didn't do well against Arizona. And look, we just wait until he does well. 5 innings, 6 earned runs. We just wait. 6 Ks and 0 walks. You don't trust K minus walk rate, guys. Don't just blindly follow that, of course. And then Jansen Junk, and I got to say this for a little moment here. I'm going to have a little bit of a Jansen Junk rant, and I'm going to talk about today's starters and tomorrow's. I'm going to do all that after this break. So Jansen Junk went 5 innings, 8 earned runs, 8 hits, 0 walks, and 3 Ks. It was a careful Icarus because he went 3 earned runs in 5. And really, it was a 3-run shot in the first on a very bad breaking ball to Riley. And then he was great through 5. And then 6, he was left in, I guess, for 5 base runners. And really, it was 5 straight capped with a 3-run shot from Dom Smith. And the interesting thing is, if you look at the PLV card, you're going to see A+ stuff, A+ PLV. Then how is it an F in results, right? And I understand that. It's a model. It is not actual results for a reason, because it's not saying based on every single pitch thrown in that situation, and that means that this should be this ERA. Does that make sense? We're not predicting the results. We're just saying, is he throwing good pitches? And in general, the pitches were great. He did throw mistakes. He threw mistakes at the wrong time that batters took advantage of. All those things happen as one, and that makes it 8 earned runs. Do you follow here? He's pitching really well. The 4-seamer is elite, right? He's getting to a lot of 2-strike counts with these guys. Sometimes it was balls in play that were just unfortunate. The first 2 of the game, those were good pitches. Those were singles. The second one especially was this really weak one. And then he allows his 3-run homer to Riley, right? And it's like, okay, that could have just been a solo shot, right? And then, yeah, he did have some mistakes and some really bad luck, like an amazing sinker off the plate to Albies that was somehow a single to left. That is never a single to left, right? It's things like that. And it does mean that there likely is something else going on with Jansen Junk that is not represented inside the model. Maybe there's something about sequencing, or maybe there's something about tipping involved there, or maybe it's just clear to batters what's coming in a way that we can't capture yet, right? However, when you look at the actual stuff and the locations he has, this is not the outcome you should have. Remember, he faced Atlanta, like top 3 offense in the majors as well. So if he did this exact Arsenal performance against, I don't know, his own team, he would have had a stud outing. I mean, I would truly believe that. So that's where we're at with Jansen Junk. I don't really want you to say like, oh God, he's just so clearly hittable, and that's that. He's making some mistakes at bad times against a really good offense, and also having some poor luck associated with it too. Okay, I just understand that with Jansen Junk moving forward, and he does get at the Mets next, and then he gets the Rays in Miami. Those can be good starts. I'm gonna have at the Mets as a questionable start. I'm probably going to have the same thing with the Rays too. Just want to let you guys know that. All right. Looking forward to today and tomorrow's games. I cannot believe that Google changed their logos, and this makes no sense to me, but whatever. Today you have Kate Cavalli as my stream pick of the day. It was really him or Dustin May at both underneath 15% roster. Cavalli gets the Mets though. Yeah, I'm just going to roll with that. And May against the Pirates, it's tougher. I don't really want to do either one of these. And then you have Severino away from Sacraverde, and it's against a struggling Angels offense that could be better than I'm giving it credit here. I don't want to do David Peterson against the Nationals. Absolutely not. Spencer Miles is going as a bulk guy against the Yankees, so there is a chance for a win, but it's the Yankees, so probably not. And then it's Colorado bullpen because Sugano's moved to tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow's games, we have Connor Prelip, 13% rostered, and Trevor McDonald, 16%. I'm really looking forward to Toley versus Prelip. I got to say, that's going to be such a fun game. I have Toley ahead of Prelip because it's a little bit more intimidating not being used to Fenway and dealing with that. So That's why, but I believe in Prelit more than totally for the most part for the rest of the year. And then Trevor McDonald, I think, is a solid play. I hope he sticks in that rotation. He really should with the way that Malley and Hauser have pitched for the year. That's a good play we're playing against the White Sox. I do hope that the changeup does appear, though, for lefties here, because it is a sinker breaking ball combination, and the White Sox do have really good left-handed power. I hope that we see something good there from McDonald, but I think it should be solid. Noah Cameron, I also prefer more than Dustin May. Maybe not Kate Cavalli, but it is at Seattle. Sorry, against Seattle in Kansas City. And Cameron pitched much better last time out. The command was far better than what we've seen all year. There's a lot more like he was in 2025. So keep that in mind. And otherwise, for tomorrow, I don't like anything. I mean, Logan Henderson's going against the Dodgers, and I do not understand how he's 28% roster. That makes no sense to me. I think it's just people being weird or just leagues acting in certain ways. And I don't want to go for Jeffrey Springs at the Padres. It's 20% rostered. I know it's outside of Sacramento, and I know that the Padres are worse against lefties, but it's not sunshine and rainbows often for Jeffrey Springs. All right, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for supporting what we do. Make sure you get 25% off PL Pro with promo code MEMORIAL25, celebrating Memorial Day weekend. We have a lot of things in store for us, and it's the number one way to support what we do, so make sure you go and do that. But that is it. So my name is Nick Pollock, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.